We are talking with Luca Fury from MMAoddsbreaker.com and Nick Kalikas, a consultant for DSI Sportsbook, previewing UFC 146. Now let's move on to Antonio Silva and Cain Velasquez. And this is another fight where there's a big favorite, Cain Velasquez, and people are thinking that he might again be similarly to the Frank Mir dos Santos fight, that this might be a good bet on the favorite for a first-round knockout. Luca Fury, what do you think?
Well, this is a fight that I definitely want to see the weigh-ins for because Cain Velasquez, he fought Junior Dos Santos after over a year of inactivity, looked very bad in the fight. I know people are quick to say, oh yeah, well, he got knocked out, that's why he looked bad. But even before that, his reaction time was really slow. He just looked awful in there. Physically, he looked bad as well. And if he shows up like that against Antonio Silva, I still think it's a very stylistically favorable matchup for him. But I don't want to lay minus 400 on a guy who's going to be coming in there looking terrible. So this is definitely one I'm going to wait to see the weigh-ins for. But as long as Cain Velasquez looks good at them, he really should destroy Antonio Silva. He's faster on the feet. He's a better wrestler. The only way I could really see Antonio Silva winning is if he's gets on top of Cain Velasquez. But Cain is such a better wrestler, I don't see that happening. And so it'll probably be on the feet, I would assume, or maybe Cain Velasquez can use his good clinch work. It's very underrated. He has some good uppercuts and knees from the clinch. Very good at controlling guys there as well. Antonio Silva's not a big one-punch guy, so I don't think he's going to be able to do something like Junior Dos Santos did to Cain when they fought. And we saw Antonio Silva fight Andre Arlovski, and he hit him for, it was just constant beatdown pretty much from Antonio Silva for 15 minutes, yet he couldn't even rock Arlovski, and we know Arlovski does not have a very good chin. So I don't see him being able to knock out Cain Velasquez, don't see him being able to take him down. So I really think it's all Cain Velasquez in this fight here. I think he probably replicates something similar to what Daniel Cormier did and gets a TKO at some point throughout this fight.
And then again, would you rather take Velasquez getting a knockout in any round rather than just taking him at minus 390 to win?
I would actually probably just parlay Velasquez here because the prop he's actually favored to win by knockout. It's at minus money, and he's coming off the layoff. Like I said, the last year and 7 months, I think it's been, he's only fought for 1 minute, so there's potential that he still doesn't look great and might end up just kind of wrestling Antonio Silva and stalling out a decision. So I know he only has one decision on his record, but still, given the layoff and stuff, I don't like betting him by knockout at minus money. So I'd probably just toss him in a parlay with someone like Junior Dos Santos.
All right, and Nick Kalikas from DSI Sportsbook. I'm going to guess that this is a fight where you have gotten a lot of public action on the favorite.
Actually, two-way here, and the line really hasn't budged all that much at all. I opened Cain at minus 400, and you're seeing it stick around there too. So it's a good opening spot, and I agree pretty much what Luca has to say. I wouldn't necessarily go out there and lay 4-1 on Cain, but I do think he's going to come away with the victory. I don't think we can judge Antonio Silva by his last loss either, because that's a little harsh. Cormier floored him, and Antonio Silva is better than what happened there. But I do think that the same thing as Luca said can happen in this fight, though, as well. So hopefully not for Antonio Silva, because, it's going to be 2 devastating losses in a row, and his stock's going to decrease greatly. So for him, I think the best scenario is losing a decision to Cain. So that's why it is kind of tricky to bet the inside the distance prop on this one as well, because I think Luca's right there as well. If Cain comes in with a solid game plan, wants to grind out a decision instead, get a little bit more work in, I'm sure he's going to go out there and try to end this thing as fast as he can. All these guys do. But he might play a safer fight since he's coming off that knockout loss to JDS as well. So I think Cain does win, and probably the best way to go is add him in a parlay.